You know, I had a nosebleed today in the shower. It's like the second time this week. And this week, we're gonna take a little flashback. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. Anyways, I thought I'd share with you just some great childhood memories of me. So I'm sorry if my parents ever see this, because this is what I was really doing. All right, so I first learned swear words, more specifically in kindergarten. I was sitting there and I was like, somebody goes, "McKayla, did you know that the word duck with an F instead of a D is a really bad word?" And I was like, "Fuck, no it ain't." I was like, "Fuck." And I just kept saying it because it felt great. Just, there was something that would channel in my anger that I had as a little child. Just fuck, just seemed to solve everything. And then the middle finger, I discovered the middle finger. I was sitting there and somebody goes, I was getting in kindergarten, and mind you, I went to private school, so it's not like we were like public school kids, but I'm sitting there and somebody goes, "Did you know if you suck your middle finger up, it's offensive to God?" And so I went around like this to school, just everywhere, in preschool, just all the teachers, everybody, and I was like, "Fuck this shit, it ain't for me." And it came to the point like teachers started seeing it and they're like, "Oh no, honey, don't do that, don't do that." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? Is this like offensive to God or something?" And they're like, "Yes, honey, yes." And I'm like, "This wasn't even a religious school. Why are you telling me about religion?" And I remember the first time I ever heard my mother swear, like bad swear, like I heard her say like "damn," but that ain't a bad word. But the first time I ever heard her say a bad word, it was fuck. And it was because I was sitting in our house and our cat went out and their cat went out. Like, man, we weren't really good friends with these neighbors. And my cat went out, their cat went out. Their cat started attacking my cat because I think it wanted to mate with it, because my cat's a female, theirs was a little male. And whew, trying to take over there. And so my mom goes and gets our cat, which was like attacked by their cat. And my mom's like, Karen's like, "You should have your damn cat in your house, Vicky." And my mom goes like out the front window, "Fuck you, Karen." And I was like, that's a girl. She knows how to channel her anger. And that was the first time I probably heard my mother swear. In about second grade it was, I was on the bus, and I used to walk to school when I was in like first grade. That or I got driven by a car, and it was like the first time that I was really on a bus. And what happened was I was sitting there and like I thought it was cool because I just started dumping entire water bottles on the floor. So I like made it rain up inside that bus, and just water bottles, water's dripping down the back. And eventually somebody might have told me, I'm not sure exactly how she found out, because you really can't check the tapes when I'm inside the seat. And then so that was right up number one. And then strike two, I was jumping seats back and forth. I was like jumping on top of that shit. Like when I say seats, I didn't mean across the aisles. Like there was points where I literally would go over the seat of the bus seat. That was strike two. Right, now, second time. Third time, had a little disagreement with my brother. I'm sitting there and he goes, "You poo hole," and I go, "You asshole," and he snitched on me. Apparently asshole shouldn't be in a vocabulary of a second grader. But in third grade, I remember I was sitting outside and there was this kid, Wilson, and he would run around and chase us. So then one day I was like, "I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine." So I chased him, grabbed him by the arm, he bit me. So what did I do? I was like, "I'm gonna get this kid in trouble." So I go and tell the teacher, then go tell the principal, because I don't know how to handle this. I was like, "Okay." So I'm like, "Oh, Miss Cheserek," I was like, "Wilson bit me." And she's like, "Oh, really? What happened?" I was like, "Well, he was chasing me, he grabbed me by the arm and then bit me. Like he had rabies or something." And so then she called him in, and then the other witnesses that were there, Elise, and I think it was Sky at this point. I was gonna shout out to you guys, because I lied and you told the truth. And they're like, "Oh no, she was chasing him, grabbed him, and then he bit her to get away." And so then like, she wasn't doing anything, and then a while later we leave the classroom and we come back in, and there's this red little slip saying I had a lunch detention, and ooh. So what did I do? I go home bawling to my mom, "It wasn't true, everybody else lied." And so I got out of that detention easy, so that wasn't a big deal. Wilson, on the topic of Wilson, this kid, he one day wanted to see what would happen. So in the chairs, you know how they weren't connected to the desks at the time, he got his torso area. So you have like the top of the chair and then you have the lines and that part. So there was that part and he somehow got his torso stuck in there. So I remember you having Jake Hiles and then Miss Hanley on one end and then the other, and they're pulling a separate way. And he's like, ah! And Miss Hanley goes, shut up, Wilson, maybe you'll be taller when we're done. And it was great. But then I remember another time he's sitting there and she's reading us books and you just hear it. And from underneath her desk comes Wilson with a staple in his thumb. And he's like crying, he's bawling. And she's like, come here, Wilson, I'm gonna rip that out. And he's like, no. And he wouldn't let the school nurse take it out. And then, so they had to go to their hospital to get a staple taken out. And you're like, really? And then the next day he comes in and Miss Hanley's like, why'd you do it, Wilson? And he goes, I wanted to see what would happen. And it was kind of funny. It was funny, okay? And then a few weeks after this transpired, he comes to school with staples in his head, in his little cranium, and they're like, Wilson, what'd you do, staple your head? And he goes, no, these are medical. Like, he didn't get stitches, he got staples in his head because he fell off the monkey bars and split his head open. People would literally wrestle, like third grade had to be the best year of my life because people would literally wrestle in the middle of the classroom, and the teacher wouldn't say anything, so he kind of had a lot of freedom there, and we had a little class pet turtle too. It was great. It was great. But after that, it kind of, I was a rebel child, but now all I do is get A's, and now I'm kind of boring. I just like to live my life. No, what? Question mark? Anyways, if you guys liked my little childhood memories, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up because I'd like that. Anyways, subscribe because I put out new videos every Thursday. Yeah. About to go get my dance on. My battery's about to die. It's playing with the sewing machine right now. So sorry if there's any noise in the background, and I apologize.